All right. Figured we'd do a little introduction to what's going to happen here at the Church of the Mystic Light. You have to excuse me. I'm not much of a public speaker, but I assume that's going to change at some point in the near future. So, pretty much the Church of the Mystic Light has been here for quite some time. It did lay idle for a little bit of time until I came in and picked it up. Don't honestly know why I did it. I guess maybe to just make sure that it didn't rot into nothingness, and maybe take the opportunity to do a little good for this world. And I don't know if that's grandstanding or anything like that, but this is just what I'm supposed to be doing. So I just got to get into it, I guess. So, the church has stood for over 100 years. It was the Bartley Chapel when it was built and turned into the Church of the Mystic Light. Many decades after that. And then it is where it is now. Trying to bring it back, trying to reopen its doors. And not getting, it's not the easiest thing to accomplish in today's society, but for whatever reason, I don't find myself discouraged or too awfully angry about it, and I'll keep plugging away until I finally get it there. Just got to accept things are complicated to a certain degree. But pretty much this, since I can't open just yet, I figured I'd do a introduction and introduce myself. My name is Butch. I'm the pastor at the Church of the Mystic Light now. Excuse me a minute. All right, so we're going to pretty much cover a basic hi, how are you? It's a pleasure to meet you. We're going to cover what we're going to do here. So this would be, I guess, a first sermon, but more like a disclaimer or a meet and greet sort of introduction. I'm going to follow in the footsteps of the Church of the Mystic Light. This place is going to be open to all religions, all faiths, all beliefs, and we will have open and honest dialogue in regards to everything, regardless of whether it's racy or taboo or whatever mainstream society deems it. Doesn't much matter. It is all information that should be shared. And we're also going to expose a lot of hypocrisy, which seems to be rampant in this world these days. So nothing's going to be off limits. Everything's going to be on the table, and it may be perceived as unconventional, but that's just how it's going to be. Pretty much the Mystic Light was rather unconventional for quite some time, and it got a pretty good stigma and a reputation, although probably completely unwarranted. But, rumor has it and all that other good stuff. Very important thing to get across right out of the gate is the manner in which sermons are going to be led here. Now, understandably, churches have a certain standard, I guess. And even though a lot of them break that standard, depending upon whatever faith they follow, we also have our own little way of expressing ourselves here, myself in particular. I'm going to be using what would be considered foul or cruel language to some. Some would consider it just basic back and forth banter, but you know, it needs to be said, because if what some people consider inappropriate or outside of the norm is a problem for you, then thank you for checking this out, but you probably just should just exit out and move on. I mean, there's plenty of churches in this world. There are churches everywhere, surrounded by different churches and different faiths, and all of them are mostly empty at this point. You know, it is not as though there's standing room only at any house of worship that I know of. Especially in this geographical area, it seems like we really lost touch with religion for, you know, various reasons. But so if this isn't your cup of tea, then, you know, thank you. But just don't watch this. Don't come back to this. Don't check this out again. It's not going to change. You know, this is the path we're on. And I would appreciate if you would respect the fact that, you know, this is what we are. And I understand if you don't agree with it and you find it to be, you know, I wouldn't go as far as to say blasphemous, but I guess, you know, depending upon who's viewing, it could be perceived as, a problem. I mean, essentially, in the span of a couple paragraphs, speaking to most, I will break one of the 10 commandments, and probably numerous times. But I don't actually look at it like I'm breaking a commandment. You'll pretty much notice that right out of the gate, depending upon if you know the commandments. So that's a basic, you know, setup and disclaimer for everyone who has sensitive ears to move on to a different place. You know, we feel this place will have its own small group of people. We're pretty much bringing it back as not an experiment, but it's going to be a church that people go to that don't like to go to church. You know, a lot of people feel they have to attend church because they've been told they have to attend church. And they, you know, get their Sunday best on and they go sit there and daydream or whatever. I've seen a lot of people at churches in the area that I've gone to recently that are, you know, playing stupid games on their stupid phones. And, you know, it's pretty much just useless to even bother going, but, you know, they do because, you know, they've been programmed to do it. Not because they want to, which is, you know, kind of against the whole point. So this place will be for them, for people who want to be able to, you know, kick back a little bit, have a little back and forth, not be, you know, lulled to sleep or not feel as though they have to constantly, you know, watch their phones and keep their brains stimulated with all sorts of bullshit. But, well, that's the hopes that I have, and that's really more than hope. I'm going to do that, and shit, I might just be sitting here talking to myself every fucking Sunday, or every other Sunday. I still have a job and a life to live, so it's difficult to devote all of my time to the church, but I devote as much as possible. So, if anyone has any questions, I guess you could use the comment thing, or I'll put an email attached to whatever bullshit I'm using, and you could fire them away. But please refrain from calling me a fucking heathen and telling me I have no right to do this, and I'm spitting in the blah blah blah. The usual fucking. There's going to be a bunch of assholes that don't really care for my brand of religion. My brand is just following all established religions, trying to decode all the bullshit and come up with the actual crux of it all. But we'll see how it goes. I just I don't really like opening myself up to the masses, but since I can't open for a variety of reasons expressed to me by the township I'm in, this is my only avenue to push this agenda forward. So, fuck them. If this shines a little light, then it shines a little light. They can deal with the fucking fallout. What the fuck am I gonna do? Christ. Some fucking guy that bought a church. So, I assume probably in the last couple minutes you've picked up a little bit of where I'm going with this. Another thing, it's going to be pretty important, is I don't want anything from anyone. There will never be a collection plate passed around. There will never be any sort of feeling that, or not feeling, I'm not going to guilt people into handing over their money. I understand, all these places, they all have to do that just to keep the doors open, the lights on. You gotta throw the pastor a couple shekels every once in a while, and that's how this works. And there's also the, most of the Catholic faith, it's 10% of your annual salary should be donated to your church, which is pretty much extortion, I guess. But I don't want nothing from you. I don't want any fucking donations. I don't want anything. I'm not going to pass a plate around. You come to this church, you come with your pockets empty, take in a sermon. If you like it, come back. If you don't, forget you ever came here and move on. Do whatever it is that makes you happy, whatever gives you what you need in this world, if there is anything that meets that mark for you. Excuse me. Let me freshen my drink up. Turn it off. It's going hotter. Christ. So that's pretty much, the meet and greet, the hi, how are you? It's a pleasure to meet you. And where we're going to go. Now, along with the I don't want any of your fucking money, because I don't want any of your fucking money. I'm bankrolling this on my own. I still have a day job. I still have a life. I still have bills. Still have everything else to pay, but I'm here because this is where the fuck I am. Why? Because this is where the fuck I am. Did I have some sort of divine intervention? Or no, I'm here. I don't know why. I am. Motherfucker. I can use input. I could use some help. If you think maybe you might want to help out with this, there's only so much I can do in the time I have. You know, it's difficult to read a bunch of source literature. It's difficult for me to absorb as much knowledge as possible, considering knowledge is just never ending. So, people that have already done this legwork, I definitely welcome some help. Somebody wants to join up, lead a sermon, or lead a prayer circle, or do whatever, you know. As long as you understand how we do things, and you know, we can have a conversation, and we could come up with something. And any help is definitely appreciated. So, also, you know, you can send me an email or give the church phone a call, leave a message, because, you know, I won't answer it. I don't carry it around with me all day long. I check it on the weekends most times. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So, give it some thought, you know, mull it over. I'm going to be recording some sermons in the near future that'll give you more of a, you know, a taste of exactly where we're going, you know, for the most part. And thank you for taking the time. I'll probably be much more organized next time. I just pretty much figured I'd get this out of the way while I was here. I'll have some sort of agenda, some sort of board with shit written on it, so I don't just jammer on in fucking circles, not remembering what I just talked about. But until then, this is the only thing I got, so hopefully it hasn't infuriated the fucking masses. And we can get started and do some actual good, actual selfless good with no expectations. I know it's hard to imagine in this world that someone might actually just genuinely give a fuck about somebody's well-being and try to do something that might be helpful. You know, where's the angle? How can I rob these rubes of all their money and, you know, brainwash them like most things that we're forced to deal with every day. But, you know, this is what I got. This is what I'm going to be bringing. So hopefully I'll see you next time. Thank you.